Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show brought to you by yours truly, Redneck. Also brought to you by Mill Pond Salon in downtown New London, as well as Romaine Berg. And then a shout out to my people at KJ's Quick Stop and Iams Garage. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Who do we got rolling in here this morning already? Matt, good morning. Penny LaRue, good morning. Little Miss Airhorns, good morning. Trans Am, good morning. Kripner, A. Jungers, good morning and good night. uh, Jerry, good morning. Never Back Down, good morning. Crazy Lady from the Farm, good morning. Posted an update on Jay Holland, good morning. Vapor, good morning, sir. Good to see you. And Terry, good morning. Good to see you. Chad, good morning. Creative Day, good morning. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you have probably heard by now. Trent Ullenkamp has been deemed or incompetent to stand trial. Now hold on. Don't go all fucking West Central Tribune on me. Jody, good morning. Lene, good morning. Sarah, good morning. Don't go all West Central Tribune on me before you get out the whole story, okay? Here's the thing. Oh, no. Here's the thing. They know he knows right from wrong. He's not bullshitting him on that end. But basically, depending on however the judge orders it, this little shit stain could be sitting in he could be sitting in inpatient treatment until he comprehends how the trial system works. I love the fact that West Central Tribune is trying to play this kid out as full blown disabled. I love the fact that they're trying to pull vote Democrat. What is happening? They're literally trying to make it like this kid is like incompetent to do anything. I don't know what. I have no idea what West Central's objective in doing what they're doing is. I don't have a clue. But let me tell you this. He was gun safety certified, which means he passed the test to get his gun license, his ability to carry a gun, go hunting. Okay? He has a driver's license. The only thing that they say he doesn't comprehend is how the legal system is working right now. It's the only thing he's got going on. Tech is probably working Little Miss Airhorn. He is down at the Master Command Center in the Twin Cities, so he pokes in when he can. Next week he should be full on board and doing what he's doing. So, yeah. He shouldn't have he shouldn't have a driver's license to search for more victims. You're right. I mean, here's the thing. In the rumor going through the grapevine is that he has violated his conditions of release in more ways than we know how, but it's just a matter of law enforcement catching him. Okay, hold on. The whole thing is it's like, okay, well, if he doesn't stand trial, it's like, what are you gonna do? Well, what the hell? What the hell are you gonna do? You gonna have him play screwball the rest of his life? He is 17 years old, I believe, if I remember right. Uh, oh, don't get mad about it. Don't. I mean, here's the thing. Don't get mad about the this. Okay. What you do is you educate yourself in this. This is the kind of stuff that when you go to your politicians and when you write to your Congress people and when you talk to your local health and human services department and say, how do we make sure this doesn't happen in our county? How do we make sure this stuff doesn't happen? Because right now, Renville County, and here's where you got to watch. Renville County now, although their Department of Health and Human Services did a good investigation, okay, let's not forget the fact that this place had never been randomly inspected. It had inspections, like annual inspections or whatever, but was never randomly inspected. No, actually, because of the fact that his terms and condition of release says that he is not allowed to handle any dangerous weapon, he can't even so much as hunt with a BB gun. He can't even hunt with a BB gun. Good morning, Clinton. Good to see you. Vapor, what it is, it's a case that we started on, um, and we were Amanda Jungers had made a video some months ago, and we had reached out to her because we really wanted to talk to her about her story. And when we got into talk, when I got into talk to her and her husband, Jerry, they were. When I got to hear the story, I immediately became this with their permission. I became the representative, but I became this ball of rage because I got personally loose. What's happening? I got personally involved in this. Um, what it is Peggy Ellenkamp in Olivia, Minnesota, ran a daycare. Ran a daycare in which her son was molesting little girls at this daycare. Okay, and with that, good morning, boss lady. Good to see you. The this Peggy Ellenkamp ran a daycare in which her son was molesting these little girls and physically assaulting these little girls. And Amanda had come out with a video about it. And when I found out the whole story, what had happened is these little girls had went and told Peggy Ellenkamp, and she basically threatened them, threatened harm against them, threatened harm against their families. Uh, and finally, one of these little girls was brave enough to tell their mom. Uh, After the investigation was all done and charges had been filed, or things have been turned over, Amanda made a video, and that video tore my heart out. Even before I'd even talked to her, I had to pull over on the road. I was in tears and listening to what this family was going through. Um, and now I've been blessed to be able to talk to them on a regular basis and hang out with them on a couple of occasions and get to meet these little girls. And the fact that anybody, and this is personal for me, this is extremely personal for me now. Um, it's horrible that the fact that these people are allowed to play the system. You've got Trent Ellenkamp, who's facing 4 felony charges, I believe. 3 for sure, but uh, it was absolutely horrible in how this goes down. And then we had a prosecuting attorney for a long time up until this just recently, who was basically just making these families even more miserable. Was re-victimizing these families, telling them that they were only going to get that Trent himself was only going to get 6 months of inpatient treatment, 10 years probation, and that Peggy wouldn't do any jail time. But yeah, he the prosecuting attorney yesterday was when Anthony came in here and told us that there's a court deal. It was a closed door hearing. That's why it was not public. It was a closed door hearing to discuss Trent Ellenkamp's his psychological evaluation. Which I don't understand why it was all of a sudden being deemed sensitive, because the fact that he's up on a felony, but hey, the judge knows what he's doing. Let him do what he's doing. And the judge has actually been very hammered down in the situation. The judge was the first one to come in and be like, all right, hold on. You know, and mom should be in jail. She doesn't took the kid's story serious. Oh, she took it serious. She just tried to hide it, Vapor. She took it serious. The mother is facing 4 gross misdemeanor charges, but on the upswing of this, mom could be looking at more charges, if not greater charges than what she already has. Peggy, because of the fact that Trent is being deemed incompetent in some way, shape, or form, that means Peggy didn't do the due diligence of watching these kids. There's a backlash to all this. So, right, but when it comes to minors, I think rehabilitation should be the main priority, especially since 10 years probation will keep an eye on him, and the mother should face charges. Both, statistically, sex offenders have the highest recidivism rate out of all criminals, right? The fact that this kid is not being held accountable at all. This is the issue that I have with sexual predators, is they're oftentimes treated like they have a disease, and they're not treated like criminals. This is the part that bothers me. Rehabilitating people and telling them, when you have a system that tells them what they're going through is not their fault, when you keep telling them that it's not their fault, it was because of something that happened in their past, they're not being held accountable. The rehabilitation thing they've been trying now for 20 years doesn't work. Hasn't been working. Continues to fail. So at what point in time do we say, okay, it's time to treat them like actual criminals and do what we're supposed to be doing? Holding them accountable. Matter of fact, why don't you put them out on the main line in prison yard? Oh, that's right, because we got to build special prisons for them, because then they're going to become victims. Let's forget about the skinny little runty dude that walks into a prison and every big bully's trying to get him, and he's got to learn to fight for himself. Why not put them in a situation where they got to sit and defend themselves? Oh, yeah, because the predators, they got no love coming in. They got no love, no respect, no nothing coming into a prison. That is the unpardonable sin in prison. You come in messing with kids, man, you're going to learn to fight the rest of your life on a main line. Gus, good morning. Good to see you. Yeah, this is I want to explain to you guys something in all of this. Okay, here's the thing. Try him as an adult, not a kid. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why, but it doesn't matter either way. Either side of the spectrum, no matter how he's charged with an adult or as a kid, he gets the same treatment. He gets the same treatment. I mean, is it easy to say that I had a disease? I had a disease of robbing and extorting people? Is it a disease that I robbed and extorted drug dealers? He's not a child. If you can drive a car, you can shoot a gun, you can hunt, you know damn well what you were doing. he was taking these girls down in his bedroom in the closet and hiding them in there, which the daycare provider had no idea was going on, which she says, even after she was told. I got no sympathy for a 17-year-old. I was doing my first prison bit at 17. I got no sympathy. Sorry. Uh, yeah, yeah, the difference between trial and settlement. Um, Hold on here. I want to point something out. I'm saying law states a person is under 18 is a child. That's how the law looks at it, is what I meant. Um, it's really weird because they pick and choose how they look at things. Yeah, the funny part is I beat up a child molester at 17. I beat up a child molester at 17 and was tried as an adult. The thing is or no, I take that back. Yeah, it was a month before my 18th birthday, so they considered it an act of an adult. But here nor there, no matter how you want to look at it, whether he's a child or not, thing is he still knows right from wrong. 16, 17, you're old enough to operate a vehicle, you know right from wrong. You're old enough to handle a gun, you know right from wrong. Am I saying he's fully developed? No. Most people aren't even fully developed until they're in their 30s. At the very least, I think they were saying something like 25 years old. And not to mention the fact that we have an adult in the house, Peggy Ellenkamp, who's not being held accountable worth the shit. Gross misdemeanors are definitely not enough. I think she's more guilty than the son is. Her job as a mandated reporter, her job and her training was to take care of these kids. Even if he gets tried as a juvenile, as far as treatment for him, why is it he gets treatment? Why is it he gets treatment? Why is it that all of a sudden, because he's a predator, oh, he should get special treatment that taxpayers should pay for? Why is that? Nobody can ever explain that to me. I mean, I was what they called a career criminal. Well, I didn't get any treatment. They didn't give me treatment. They kicked my ass out on the street and said, fuck up again, you'll be right back here. And that was my rotating door for over 20 years. Right now, I don't know a Democrat because they were talking 6 months jail or 6 months of treatment, and because of the cane that we've raised here in the Invasion Nation and the public outcry that has got, there's no deals on the table currently. He has no deals because he doesn't all of a sudden comprehend it. So he's all of a sudden doesn't comprehend sentencing. I think the article said that the only experience that he had from court was watching stuff on TV. How come nobody else gets to use that for an excuse? Hell, the first time I walked into court, they hammered my ass with a felony. And when I was a kid, my mom got to make the choices. Oh no, I ain't taking responsibility for that one. Ship his ass. So now he gets to go and get treatment or therapy or whatever it is, until he understands trial, which I believe should be a commit. I don't know exactly how they're going to do that, but I believe that should be a full commitment. I don't believe that should be something that he just gets to go to a class once or twice a week. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Commit his ass. And then she threatened the kids when they told on him. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out. Peggy goes back to court on the 17th, I believe, of this month. But right now, it's been kicked back to Renville County Department of Health and Human Services. The push is for him to be put inpatient. No, should be torn his own ass in jail. 20 years at least, and he must, after sentence, be chemically castrated so he doesn't do it anymore. Well, I mean, according to the pedophiles in Iowa, when the LGQTZXYZ 4523 community out there was getting all their rights through Obama and everything else, and adding more and more letters to their alphabet, the pedophiles were trying to get voted in as being recognized the same as that community. They had flyers up. Trying to get recognized for this shit. That they should be, that they can't, that, the system has got everybody believing that they're just wired this way. We're wired to be a sexual predator. We can't fix it. Yes, you can, motherfucker. Don't do it. People have thoughts of harming people. Most people have thought of some type of thought of revenge or something else, or some type of violent act throughout their lifetime. A very small percentage act on it. Don't act on it, you weak motherfucker. You're right. You know what? You're right about that. I remember doing mock trials and that shit in high school. By the time I was 14 years old, 15 years old, I was in junior high school when we started doing mock trials. Social studies, actually. They teach you about the court system. Of course, they coached him. It's a lawyer's job to defend their client to the best of their ability. I think mom's doing more of the coaching than the lawyer is. Crazy lady from the farm. I wouldn't doubt that we have to pay for it. I mean, because we're not going to hold child molesters accountable in the state yet. Although legislation's changing because of all this. They're working on shit right now. I know that they have special committees set up to start investigating these cases a little more. Congress is finally agreeing that in the state here, legislation in the state of Minnesota is agreeing that this needs to be changed. Well, Gus, it's real easy. Some people are all about the money. 15th, I think. It could be. Um, you want to pay for his meals for the next 4 years instead of trying. There is no, listen. Vote. I know you're new here, so let me help you out. Okay, I'm gonna help you out here. Right here. See these? You see all this here? These aren't from the street. These are prison tats, brother. I'm gonna help you out here. Okay, you have to rehabilitate yourself. People cannot rehabilitate you. People cannot rehabilitate you. This is a mindset in order to You're talking to a guy who is a over 20-year veteran in the prison system and incarcerations. From the time I was 11 to the time until 7 years ago, it was a constant rotating door for me. I would literally have to go to work release programs. I would have to go to whatever else. I spent more time, the vast majority of my adult life, in and out of jail. Okay. Here's the thing. When you keep treating, and the way that they treat these people, these pedophiles and everything else, giving them special treatment, special programs, coddling them, they don't learn. That's why their recidivism rate is so high. If you say giving them treatment, you can't rehabilitate them. You know what the best rehabilitation is? And I'll be honest with you, is sending his ass to prison and letting him get his ass handed to him. Let him see what happens when people find out what he's done. When they're chasing his ass around a prison yard with a bunch of shanks. We can scream rehabilitation, but if rehabilitation hasn't been working for anybody, you're talking recidivism rate in the high 90 percentile range. Okay, high 90 percentile range. I think it's like 95 or 96% to be exact. Recidivism rate for sexual offenders, sexual predators. How do we justify treatment? How do we justify rehabilitation when an average criminal who doesn't get treatment, their recidivism rate is 50? It sounds like a broken system to me. It sounds like a very broken system. When you take the average criminal and their recidivism rate is 50, but you take these people who get all these special programs in prison, have special prison yards, have 24/7 counseling, have all this other stuff. How is it that their recidivism rate is higher than the guys who got to go out and tough it out in a prison yard? Rehabilitation comes from within, and I will tell you that 100%. I found my rehabilitation by sticking my nose in a Bible. Realizing that there was something bigger than I was out there. Public execution would be a great deterrent. You know why we have some of the highest crime rates in the world? Because we don't have J. Joe, good morning, good to see you. We don't have public floggings. We don't have public punishments. I believe so. I mean, seriously. You go into other countries, you steal from somebody, they cut your hand off in public. They cut your hand off in public. Guess what they don't have a whole lot of? Stealing. But the fathers in this situation. Now, mind you, this little shit stain and his mom are still in the local community. Okay. This little shit stain is still in the local community, prancing around like a little fairy, like he's got nothing going on, like he's getting away with something. All right. And I have to give kudos to the dads in this situation. I actually look up to them because the self-control that they are displaying, the self-control and the things that they're doing to educate other parents as opposed to handling it the way I would. Okay. uh, I've actually been admiring and looking up to them and how they handle this. And for somebody, the one of the things that you can never comprehend is when people say it's not your fault, it's not your fault, it's not your fault. But as a parent, you never get that. Um, my son wasn't sexually assaulted. My son was physically abused in his home, and that's why we went after custody of him. And they told me I didn't stand a chance in hell. I was fresh out of prison. I was 6 months out of prison. They said, "You don't stand a chance in hell." I said, "Well, I'll go broke trying." And the thing was, is you never get over the fact, and I can't imagine on their level. And you're talking Amanda Junger, somebody who's what they call a helicopter mom. She hovers over everything when it comes to her kids, and everything crossed, every T dotted, every I, everything looked good on paper, everything looked good in eyesight, everything that you could possibly do, but you never get over the fact that, could I have done something else? Okay? You never get over that fact. You never get over the fact that what could I have done different? So, um, big thing is every time something happens in court, people like to reach out to these people. Why are they doing this? They're not attorneys. This is out of the Junger's hands. This is one of the things and out of the Anstead hands. This is one of the things that drives me nuts about this situation. Is people act like they have control over this. Believe you me, coming from a father's perspective, and I mean, I'm not going to say anything on Jerry's behalf on this, but if they left it up to me to decide what happened, hey, I'll put me in a cell with him. Give me 10 minutes in a cell. Come on. That's it. We'll call that good enough punishment. I ain't saying he's going to walk out. 10 minutes. They don't have any choice in this matter. The state picks up the case. It is the state's case from that point forward. It is on the state. The burden is now on the state to prove this little shit stain guilty. And the shit stain he calls mom. Jerry, no, his dad passed away some years ago, or a year or two ago. I don't remember what it was. So, and there's also, there's other people that have gotten involved with the victims. I got to see Baca when I was out there last weekend. They come out every weekend. They hang out with the girls, and they're all about the kids, which is absolutely a phenomenal organization. These guys drive all the way out from Owatonna. Drive all the way out from Owatonna to Bird Island, which is a hell of a drive. And they come out and they hang out with the kids. They're all about the kids, which is really, really awesome. Big kudos to Baca. If you guys want something to support them. Bikers Against Child Abuse. And yeah, you should. Let's just say they don't look like the. I mean, they're nice people. I mean, absolutely phenomenally nice people. But seeing them coming in, rolling in their full. I mean, even the lady that rolled in, coming in with she come rolling in on her decked out Harley. They just looked like a group of people you didn't piss with. So a huge shout out to Baca, huge kudos to them. Uh, you know, Helmer Twitch comes in. Fuck ISIS. uh, yeah, they're definitely a good way to make kids feel safe. If so if you guys ever want to contribute, a lot of people like to donate to charities and things like that. That's definitely one that will be getting. I donate a lot to the veterans associations and things like that, but they're definitely on my list now. So, The thing that bothers me the most is the families continually have to relive this, not only in the court system, and they're continually re-victimized, and that's one of the things that really bothers me about this. Gotta go make millions. Y'all have a good day. Ha! Uh, so the main thing is if you guys really want to be supportive in all this, I mean, just keep praying for the families. Just, let them know that they're in your thoughts or in your prayers. So, you know, they got a lot going on, and the thing is, they've got to relive this, and they've got to deal with this the rest of their life. And what I mean is, deal with this is, not only in their heads and dealing with their own stuff, but making sure that these kids function on a daily level. And that's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. When you talk about, I mean, the girls are starting to do good. They're starting to function. Um, where are we going with this show? French fries do not belong in milkshakes. I kind of like dipping my fries in my milkshake once in a while. I mean, why not? Seeing the system doesn't care about kids who are the victims. It's good Baca's there to help out. Yeah, and that's the thing. Baca is an absolutely phenomenal organization. I mean, literally, they went there and their 100% focus was the kids, which was awesome. No, I did not see that, Helmer. I'm kind of behind on the news. Unfortunately, that's just wrong, Matt says. That's just wrong. It's not something I make a point to do, but every once in a while, salty sweet is really good. But, anyways, yeah, just make sure you keep them in your thoughts and prayers. There's more stuff to come. Of course, West Central Tribune likes to play Trent to be the victim because we sat there and made a big stink. West Central Tribune will never admit the fact that they watch my shit and they come after. They try to counteract everything I said because I called them out on their bullshit. They're a bot. They're a bot newspaper. They're a bot news source. If you pay them money, they will publish good stories about you all the time, even when you're in the middle of shit. You just got to pay them enough money. Yeah! So, cinnamon. So, yeah. Fries and milkshake are the devil. Hilbert Twitch says it's a sign of devil worship. Nice. Oh. But yeah, the kids, remember this. No matter what happens in this is going to be a lifetime process for the victims. I mean, parents and children. This is going to be a lifetime thing the rest of their life. Yes, Cinnamon, I have been to prison. I have been to prison. More than once. Oh. I will tell you this. Guess who was parents? I want you to be concerned about something. Ruger Ranch pointed something out to me a while back ago, and I'm finding out both. Helmer, I've been to both. I was a frequent resident. Yeah, I talk about it quite a bit. Um, I talk about my experiences in prison and things I've been through and what got me there. I don't hide it. I'm too much in the public limelight to try and hide it and try to pretend to be something That I was a criminal. I was for many years. I was just a criminal. I even used to like to spruce it. I was an outlaw, but that really wasn't what it is. I was a fucking criminal. You know what I mean? And I when people try to have sympathy for me because of the things that happened to me in prison, I've been involved in race riots where I had nothing to do with the reason they started, but ended up in the middle of them. I've been stabbed. I've been beat up by guards. I've been put on diesel therapy. But I signed up for it. When I broke the law, I signed up for it. Was keyword there, and I have. The thing is when I quit blaming other people for what I was doing, when I quit believing the bullshit I was taught as a kid that it wasn't my fault, it was because of the way I was raised or where I grew up. I'm like, fuck that. It took me some years to figure it out, and for me, it was me sticking my nose in the Bible. Now, am I your ideal Christian? Hell no, I'm not. But that's my checks and balances system. That's my checks and balances system 100%, because when I start getting way out there, it's a cold. I look over and I'll show you right here. They're right there. 2 Bibles and a concordance. They're right there. When I start getting out there, that's my checks and balances system right there. You know? Yeah. So, and there is some truth, and I will say that there's some truth to some stuff that um there is some truth to influences and how you're raised. Okay, and I want to point something out. Okay, I talked to a gentleman who had reached out to me some time ago, who had reached out to me talking about the fact that he grew up in a house where molestation was prevalent from the time that they were infants till they were teenagers, and it continued to go on in the house up until finally somebody in the family said this isn't right. And he personally was molested by uh, two of his. You're doing. Heller Twitch, you're doing tremendous, but if you relapse and vote Democrat, even God can't save you. There's no relapsing. Being a criminal is a choice. It's a choice. It's not a fucking disease. It's a fucking choice. It's my choice to walk up to somebody, a drug dealer, and steal their money. It's my choice to start swinging on people. It is my choice, 100%. There's no excuses for it. None. None. There's no excuses for being a fucking criminal. Like I said, the situation I'm telling you about now, if you grow up in a situation where love is expressed through molestation, it's one thing. But this person came out of it. They were charged. They were charged. And they asked me, they said, well, how do you feel about, they wanted to know how I felt about their situation. And I researched their situation. Their situation was right. This At 10 years old, he was charged with molestation. But at the same point in time, when he was doing the molesting, he was being molested by 2 adult males.
Oh yeah!
So, and that was the whole thing. Um, I said, do you have urges to molest children anymore? Do you have urges to molest anybody or sexually assault anybody? He said, no. No excuses for voting Democrat. uh, um, that's pretty fucking good. And the thing I said, do you have any of these urges? He said, no, I just didn't. I don't know how to explain it. He says, I don't want to make an excuse for what had happened. Uh, you know, and he said, I just it was normal in my house. And he said it turned out to be a big shitstorm. Now he's married, got 3 kids of his own, has served in the community in multiple capacities, things like that. A lot of the community, even though he was charged, rallied around him and said, "Hey, let's 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 help him out." And he's done very well. Has done very very well. Um, you know, and follows me on Facebook and wanted to reach out and wanted to, you know, has never been really able to tell his story without somebody absolutely criticizing him. I said, listen, your situation's a lot different than a lot of these situations. Your situation is a hell of a lot different than it is in these situations. You grew up in it. From the time you were an infant to the time you were 10 years old, you were being molested. 10 years. You didn't know any better. It was the way you were being raised. It wasn't until somebody from outside came in and then you were doing the same thing to them that you got hit. And then you understood that it was wrong. And when you found out it was wrong, you quit doing it. You didn't have any urges to do it when you found out it was wrong, that it wasn't the right thing. You were brought into a loving environment with people who understood, and you changed. And you continued to be a better person because of it. I said, now the best thing you can do is be an advocate. So, coming from a person who was a victim similar to this, those girls will always live with this. Something you won't be able to just forget someday. I'm tired of people defending the predator. He knew what he was. He knew what he did was wrong, or he wouldn't have done it. And you were absolutely right. You are, and I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's one hell of a. But you're absolutely right. He knew exactly what he was doing was wrong. He took him downstairs. Trent Allenkamp took these girls down into his room in the basement, put them in a closet, told them to be quiet so they wouldn't get caught. He knew exactly what he was doing. What do you mean that is no excuse? It's BS. This guy was molested from the time he was an infant until he was 10 years old by family members. By family members. People in his own house. Yeah. Trent Allenkamp's a completely different situation. He's just a fucking shit stain. Peggy Allenkamp is just a bigger shit stain. God is good all the time. Um, Penny, all right, we'll catch you later after Bible study. Nice. Uh, Finally, here in Sweden, they start to catch the female predators as well. Also, that was under a long time looked as they couldn't do it. Yeah, and that's the thing. Females are just as likely to be predators as males. Okay, the thing is you take for instance people. We're talking about teachers molesting their students. I mean, as a male student, you're like, fuck no, she didn't molest me. I wanted that. And it's hard. It's hard to do that, but there are younger male children who are molested. But it's a all right, Clinton. You have a good day. Keep her between the ditches. Um, the thing is boss lady, I'm running low. Yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, and that's the thing. You know when you talk about uh, guys that are all of a sudden adults and they want to use this as an excuse to molest children, that's bullshit. You know, it's literally bullshit. By the time you're an adult, you know that it's not right. You know that it's not right. Well, they're handing. I couldn't go to Iowa. There was no way when that was going on. I was supposed to drive right through Iowa. I drove around it because I didn't want to go back to prison. I'd have probably hurt somebody or run them over with a truck. So yeah, that would have not been a good deal for me. So we drove around Iowa that year because they were literally walking around. Uh, I've always thought women were evil. I'm pretty sure they think the same thing about you, Matt. Um, yeah, it's one thing. Like this guy at 10 years old was prosecuted, put into a uh, detention home, and then when released, later brought to a foster home, and where he was retaught his way of thinking. You know, but you take an adult, you take somebody who knows right from wrong. Boss lady says, "I can be." Check out the horns holding up my halo. They said, and you take the situation of you know a kid who grows up in it as opposed to and being rehabilitated from that. But you take an adult who all of a sudden one day decides that he's going to start molesting kids, and then wants you, oh, I was molested as a kid. You know, okay, okay, okay. I don't know. There's no excuse for it. You know, I mean, the story I was using. This was a 10-year-old kid who, when he learned, because he was taught that this was the way that you showed love, uh, this 10-year-old kid found out that it was wrong, never did it again. You have an adult who all of a sudden one day decides, well, because I'm just going to do it. No, you're a fucking pervert. You decide to go. You deserve to go walk the main line with the rest of the convicts. That's what you deserve to do. Uh, that's even no, and that's the thing. If you were a victim, why would you want to make somebody a victim? You know the pain and the embarrassment and things that go with it. Why would you want to make somebody a victim in that? Off to load milk. Have a great day. All right, Trash. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, oh, damn, Sarah, that's vicious. I suppose it ain't no better. I suppose I'm a victim of assault for telling my son that his song is Barbie Girl. uh, really? Little Miss Sarah Horns. Mm-hmm. I've got two words for you: water bed. Water bed. Mm-hmm. Uh, no, you're right. Your past doesn't make your future. If it did, I wouldn't be. And you're absolutely correct in that. Your past doesn't make your future. You decide your future. How do you guys do that with the bagpipes? Creative Day of Crochet, what you do is you click on my face. If you're on mobile, there should be like a little puzzle piece up there somewheres. So, look at this. Redneck Tech comes in. Look, I got fairy wings. Yeah. And then he leaves. There is a cure for molesters. 16 doses. Fit in 1 minute. Yeah. Anyways, it's coffee break time. If you got them, get your coffee break emojis up there. I need a refill. Yeah. Get them up there. Get them up there.
Baby shark, baby shark, baby shark.
Really? I'm on a computer. There should be. I'm not on the Twitch part of it. We can look here. I'll show you when we come back. For a little, yeah, a good excuse. She knows how to make her own. She's got to watch a shit ton of ads. It's not a puzzle piece anymore. Well, what the hell is it? Well, you explain it to them. I'm going to get some coffee. Do your job. Do the tech shit. Explain them how to find that shit on computers and everything else. That's your job. We'll be right back, everybody.
Some call me a sinner for the things I've done. Born with a heart of stone, fast with a gun. I'm here to get mine, then I'll leave this town. If you're standing in my way, I'll cut you down. You can't tame me. Some call me a sinner for the things I've done. Born with a heart of stone, fast with a gun. I'm here to get mine, then I'll leave this town. If you're standing in my way, I'll cut you down. You can't tame me. now tame.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Invasion Nation Morning Show, brought to you by yours truly, Redneck. Also brought to you by Romaine Berg and Mill Pond Salon, sitting downtown New London. Also, yeah. Yep. Oh, look at there. Apparently some trolls showed up. So, you know that CNN is under some serious fire right now. Just so y'all know, CNN, Communist News Network, is under serious fire. And here's the funny part. Do you know that CNN is being showed to your kids in school? They won't show Fox. They won't juxtapose anything. But they'll show all right, Jody.
Fuck yeah!
Thank you. Yeah. So they won't show Fox News, but they'll show CNN, which is really funny because right now CNN is under fire for all the false stories, the inaccurate claims. They have been firing people like crazy from CNN. They have been firing people like you would not believe from CNN. I mean, you're talking show hosts, they're talking. Oh, all right, Justin. I didn't even realize you gifted that. My bad. Nice job, brother. But yeah. Yeah, it's I mean, seriously, CNN is under such huge fire right now for all the shit that they're posting. Now hold on. Rachel Maddow does this big thing. She builds up all this hype. They got a hold of Donald Trump's 2005 tax returns. And they're like, oh, we got him. Now hold on. This is where it gets good. This is where it gets really good. She spends like 20 minutes building up to this. Like literally, gift and go, gonna lurk for and go, okay. All right, Justin, I got you. So yeah. So Rachel Maddow gets on there, and this is one of them situations. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, why don't we just do this? Oh, we better not do a Google Wise. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. Let me find it on YouTube here. Where is... Well, let's see here. What, did they pull it down? Oh, yeah. Okay. This is about 11 minutes. I haven't talked to Travel Buddy, hasn't called me yet, so I don't know exactly what's going on there. But yeah. All right, you guys, bear with me for 11
What
minutes.
I have here is a copy of Donald Trump's tax returns. We have his federal tax return for 1 year for 2005. I believe this is the only set of the president's federal taxes that reporters have ever gotten a hold of. What we have are these 2 pages.
Mind you, this
front
is
and back,
illegal without
from the
his
same 1040 form
consent.
that you might have filled out when you file your taxes. And in terms of what's on here, let me give you the basics. Aside from the numbers being large, these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million, looks like $38 million in taxes.
Okay. He paid in, federally, $38,435, or $435,451. That's what he paid in. Keep close watch. Okay. Keep close watch, because it gets better.
He took a big write-down of $103 million. More on that later.
He took a tax write-off of $103 million. This is a business. This is a billionaire business. But took in $103 million write-offs. I mean, I take in a lot of money write-offs every year.
Later. If you add up the lines for income, he made more than $150 million in that year. Mazel tov. We got these pages. We got this.
Okay, you want to figure out the numbers on this? Are you guys ready? Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this exclusive? This exclusive. Oh my God, 2005. You want to know what? You want to know something? Donald Trump paid in 25% of his income for the year just in federal taxes alone. 25%. Ladies and gentlemen. This is what your kids are watching. This is the shit your kids are watching in school. This is what they got your kids watching in school. Everything is legal and legit on these tax forms. This is what they're teaching your kids in school. That Donald Trump is a bad guy because he took $103 million in write-offs. That's not enough. 70%. 25. That is more, I believe that is more than any other president that I know of, that I could think of. But in 2005, now mind you, the objective of business, I want to point something out. Yeah. So apparently it's bad to pay in more than normal in taxes. Coming from the news media that supports socialism, that wants you to pay 70% in taxes. Morning, Blake. Good to see you. So let's figure this out. 25% he paid in.
This document today from a Pulitzer Prize-winning investigative journalist who's better on financial matters than almost anybody else in the business. His name is David K. Johnston. These pages turned up the other day in his mailbox. David will join us live here in just a moment. But because nobody has had the president's taxes before,
nobody's supposed to have them without his permission.
When we showed this 2005 return to the White House to ask them if it's real, we sent this over to the White House tonight, and the White House responded basically with, yep. I'm going to read you the White House statement on this tonight. Quote, before being elected president, Mr. Trump was one of the most successful businessmen in the world, with a responsibility to his company, his family, and his employees to pay no more tax than legally required. That being said, Mr. Trump paid $38 million, even after taking into account large-scale depreciation for construction on an income of more than $150 million, as well as paying tens of millions of dollars in other taxes, such as sales and excise taxes and employment taxes. And this illegally published return proves just that.
Illegally published return proves they put it out there. The White House puts this out here. Now hold on. Now, do you guys remember what was going on in 2005? Anybody? Anybody? Bueller. Weren't we going through a pretty good sized recession? Weren't we having issues? Weren't we handing out bailouts to most companies? Were we not having problems in 2005? And now you're going to criticize a billionaire businessman who pays 25% in taxes? That's what we're going to do. We're going to criticize somebody who pays in 25% taxes. That's what we're going to do. Just saying. I mean, legitimately, we're going to criticize somebody who pays in 25% in taxes. Okay, hold on. Let's keep going.
Despite this substantial income figure and tax paid, it is totally illegal to steal and publish tax returns. The dishonest media can continue to make this part of their agenda, while the president will focus on his, which includes tax reform that will benefit all Americans. White House statement for tonight. For the record, the First Amendment gives us the right to publish this return. It is
No,
not
it does
illegally
not.
published.
It does not give you the right.
Nor are we fake. Pinch
You
me,
are
I'm
extremely
real.
fake.
But good on the White House for acknowledging the return as proof of what the president made and paid that year. Here's the thing, though. A full tax return for someone like Donald Trump would be a lot longer than the 2 pages that we have here. There are all kinds of schedules and notes and attachments that could be involved, all containing information about the president and his money. Why will he not release his taxes, his full taxes?
Why does he
the
have
way
to?
other presidents have done? Why not let the public see the information for themselves? We have obtained this, but this is all we've got. This tells us something, but he still has disclosed, certainly willingly disclosed, nothing compared to all other modern presidents. Joining us now is David K. Johnston. He's editor and founder of DCReport.org.
Okay. I've had enough of her dumb shit, and I don't want to. Okay. Let me help you out. Where Hillary's. Yeah, let's see the taxes for the Clinton Foundation, can we please? Can we see the full notes on the Clinton Foundation? Okay. He does not have to. Let's understand something. Donald Trump was a billionaire before he came to the White House. As a business person, typically you don't want anybody seeing any of your shit. Hey, Justin, it was something I stated a while back ago. I tell you what, Donald Trump should make a deal. When you produce them thousands, tens of thousands of emails that Hillary deleted, I'll produce my tax returns. This is what they got, though. The man paid 25% in taxes. 25% in taxes. But hold on. It was even better. God, I should have found the ramp up to that. My bad. That's her rebuttal. I should have found. Of course. Oh, they don't have it actually up there. They don't actually have it up there. Do you think not the IRS right now would be up Trump's ass? Morning, Jerry. Do you not think the IRS, let's see here. Let me find the 5, I think, still has it up there. Why am I not finding it? I know it's here. I know it's here. All right. That's going to make me do this the old-fashioned way. Sorry, guys. There it is. Watch this.
Welcome back to the latest episode of
Oh my God.
Yes, it was Rachel Maddow's Y2K. As we sit on the brink of a nuclear showdown with North Korea, this manic mouthpiece fixates on a 12-year-old tax return belonging to Trump, and boy, did she sell it like a timeshare in a Florida swamp. It was ShamWow meets Shark Tank without the charm and twice as
my bad.
smug.
My God.
It's been a little bit of a hullabaloo around here this evening. I apologize for being a little flustered.
Travel buddy, what's happening?
Shut up, get to Rachel.
We've got some significant breaking news tonight. Donald Trump's tax returns have surfaced, at least a portion of Donald Trump's past tax returns. This is the first time we believe any federal tax returns for Donald Trump have been obtained by anyone, certainly by any news organization, since he became a presidential candidate, let alone president.
Oh, my God. But rather than tell us anything up front, she tap dances like a barefoot drunk on hot sand. Maybe she'll break the news to us now.
Tonight, we have this exclusive first look at their reporting at what they have obtained. In just a second, we are going to show you exactly what it is that we've got. Whether or not you are a supporter of Donald Trump in general, whether or not you care what's in his tax returns, it ought to give you pause that his explanation for why he couldn't release them.
Oh, jeez. So the more she delayed, the more we sense that maybe the tip of the iceberg is just a tip and there is no iceberg. But maybe she'll tell us everything now.
Is he not as rich as he says he is? Is he not as charitable as he says he is? Was he, in fact, under audit when he was using that as an excuse to not release his tax returns? Was that worse than just
I want to point something out, by the way. The Trump Foundation donates more money than it takes in. Just so you guys know this.
a bad excuse? Was he really being audited? There's small reasons to be interested, right? There will continue to be unrelenting pressure to find Donald Trump's tax returns, to expose Donald Trump's tax returns. And I am sure it is only the start, but it's a start. And our little piece of it, we just got it. We'll go through it next.
Next. What is wrong with her? A hybrid of
You notice the look at her face? I want you guys to point something out. Okay, she goes from this, watch.
Tax returns.
Look at this.
And I am sure it is only the start.
And
but
she's
it's
just
a start.
realizing now she's
And our
fucking
little
up.
piece of it,
I just want you to look. I
we
just
got
want you
it.
to watch.
To
Look at
expose
this.
Donald Trump's tax returns. And I am sure it is only the start,
Now she's realizing, we
but
fucked
it's a
up.
start. And our little piece of it, we just got it. We'll go through it next.
Next. What
All right,
is
Chris.
wrong with her? A hybrid of
What's up,
Alex
Brett?
Jones and Alex Trebek. All trick, no treat. Let's give her one more chance.
Let me give you the basics. Aside from the numbers being large, these pages are straightforward. He paid $38 million, looks like $38 million in taxes. He took a big write-down of $103 million. More on that later. If you add up the lines for income, he made more than $150 million in that year. Mazel tov.
So that's it. Talk about a big fat zero, or 6 zeros with a 38 in front of it. Trump paid $36 million in taxes at a tax rate higher than Obama, Comrade Bernie, and MSNBC. I salute you, Maddow. The Pulitzer is in the mail. What's next? Will you be revealing Steve Bannon's disturbing ankle
love
tattoo?
this guy.
I hear it's a dolphin. So when America hears this news, what do you think they think? Outrage, scandal? No, they think, wow, Trump's rich. Who knew? So how did Rachel fall for this? Trump set it up by fueling the intrigue. Remember when the Roadrunner would paint a tunnel entrance on a rock formation so the coyote would slam right into it? Trump just did that to Rachel. He baited the trap for months, pretending that somewhere lurked the Ark of the Covenant. And now MSNBC has to peel Rachel and her smirk off that stone wall. Trump wins again by the left simply losing their minds and their ethics and their dignity and their self-control. It was
All right. So here's the thing I don't understand, okay? Here's the thing I don't understand. One, the assertion of federal documents without written consent from either the federal government or the person or the people involved is illegal. Okay. Just pointing that out. But how is it this is the shit that's being taught to our kids? How's it a tax rate of 25%? How is this being taught to our kids? Why is this being taught to our kids? Why wouldn't they let them watch Fox at 5? Why wouldn't they allow them to do that? CNN has been called out on numerous. Sean Hannity actually did a story about CNN's false news report. Sean Hannity went all the way in on him. Okay. This is the reason I bring this up, because this is what's being taught in your schools, people. This is what's being taught to your kids in school. And people think that I'm crazy, but listen to me. This is what is being taught in your schools, like 100%. Here.
All right,
I'll put it
history
up
is
for you.
literally happening right in front of our eyes. We have the liberal destroy Trump. Mainstream media is now in a free fall and on the brink of complete and total collapse. That's not an overstatement. It's not hyperbole. Now, these propagandists and champions of fake news continue to be exposed day after day, and CNN is leading the way. Now, I'm going to share.
I want to point these out right here. They got them all up here. ABC News, MSNBC, New York Times, NBC News, CNN, The Washington Post, and CBS. That's really right there. And I know CNN's being taught in school. I know MSNBC is being taught in school. I know that the New York Times is being circulated in schools, as well as the Washington Post. If this is being done in your schools, these right here are your news sources. If this is being done in school, and I want you to have, and I'll get this video posted up on the Redneck Invasion page. I want you guys to look, to be able to show this to these people. I want you to point this out. Because for the next 11 minutes, you guys are about to see some really serious shit. And this is what's being taught to our kids. Now, mind you, he's going to point out retracted statements, people being fired. Okay, the stuff that's not being taught to our kids, the right stuff.
My advice for the head of CNN, their chief of fake news and propaganda news, Jeff Zucker, in just a minute. Jeff, I'm trying to save your career. But first, let me explain how one of the biggest anti-Trump networks has lost all their credibility and can no longer be trusted by you, the American people. Now, at this point, we should put CNN 6 feet, you see right there, underground for repeatedly spreading lies, propaganda, black helicopter, tinfoil hat conspiracy theories, and for viciously trying to take down this president. Now, let's just look at some of the network's many controversies and scandals they've had. Now, there's the image of CNN's former New Year's Eve co-host. Really, it's so graphic. Every time we show you, we have to put a warning on the screen. Kathy Griffin, posing like an ISIS fighter. Look at how despicable that is.
Okay. Remind you, she was a CNN special commentator or host. This is being showed to your kids. That we are allowed to disrespect the president. This is what is being showed to our kids in school. This right here. This is okay. This is what teachers are showing your kids. You all think I'm kidding. This is what teachers are showing kids in school.
With a bloody, severed head of a Trump lookalike. Pretty disgusting. And after that vile photo shoot, CNN then fired Griffin. Fair enough. And then earlier this month, CNN cut ties. Remember Reza Aslan? That's the unhinged liberal responsible for disturbing tweets like this one, quote, "This POS," you know what it is not just an embarrassment to America and a stain on the presidency, he's an embarrassment to humankind. Oh, that's fair and balanced. Now, kicking unhinged liberal hosts to the curb is just the beginning of CNN's massive credibility crisis. CNN has been...
Now, I want to remind you guys that CNN right now, like all their investigative reporters and all the people who worked on outside stories for CNN, okay? They've been cutting payroll stuff like you wouldn't believe. They're cutting off, they're paying them by the story. They're taking their investigative reporters off a full-time salary. They are losing money at a very rapid rate, especially when the initial Mueller report came out. So now they're fighting on tax returns, and they're hoping that there's some ray of light comes out of Mueller testifying in front of Congress.
Routinely humiliated for pushing their fake news. Remember, earlier this week, 3 so-called journalists allegedly resigned, I don't believe that, after the outlet had to retract a completely made-up story about a Trump ally, a friend of mine, Anthony Scaramucci, which claimed that Anthony was being investigated for colluding with the Russians through dealings with a Russian investment fund. You know, CNN and the rest of the Destroy Trump media, they have tried to tell them, oh, it's just an honest mistake, and say that CNN did the right thing. They retracted the story, but according to an explosive report in the New York Post, it appears that CNN may have been forced to correct the fake news hit piece. Take a look at this headline. CNN faced a $100 million lawsuit over botched Russia story. Now, according to the Post...
Look at this. People are going after CNN. All right, Chad, we'll catch you on the flip side. People are going, and don't forget, tomorrow's the announcement of the winner of the Twitch contest, or not Twitch, but the Redneck Invasion contest here. So, but yeah, hold on here. They got threatened with a lawsuit for saying one of Trump's constituents were colluding with the Russians. And they said, oh yeah, here's a $100 million lawsuit. How do you like me now? Donald Trump has very rich friends also.
CNN quickly retracted the story. Why? Anthony Scaramucci threatened a massive libel lawsuit. Now, of course, that example is not the only time CNN has gotten a story completely wrong. Let's go back. Let's stay right here in the month of June. June 16th, the network had to delete a tweet and issue a correction for saying, oh, only Democrats were praying before the congressional baseball game. Remember after Steve...
Hold on. Remember the senator that was shot at the baseball field? This is only... But mind you, Democrats are the ones that are pulling prayer out of schools. Democrats in California are trying to make it illegal to have Bible studies in your home. They're trying to make it illegal for anybody, for Christians anyways, to pray anywhere outside of a religious, quote-unquote, religious building. This is Democrats doing this, by the way. But then CNN's going to state, well, the Dems are the only ones that pray. Yeah, okay. Sure is funny. It seems like it's only the Republicans coming out with their full religious beliefs. I want to point this out there, by the way. Freedom of religion. A right to religion in the Constitution, by the way.
Steve Scalise was shot in the assassination attempt. And the day before that, well, CNN's senior unhinged White House correspondent, Jim Acosta, he tweeted, then deleted, his ridiculous claim that President Trump didn't visit Congressman Steve Scalise in the hospital. Not true. And also...
yeah, and not only did he visit him, he wanted to make sure that he said, if you need anything, Not out of the government's pocket, not out of the people, not out of the United States pocket. He said anything that he needs and can't afford, I will pay for personally.
Earlier this month, the head of the former FBI director, James Comey, in his testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee, CNN had to alter a report that said that Comey would contradict President Trump's statements about not being under investigation by the FBI. Wrong. The embarrassment for CNN doesn't even end there. Now, take a look at the time CNN covered the president's so-called eating habits. These are really hard-hitting investigative reports that really matter to all the Americans in poverty, on food stamps, and out of the labor force, and those that can't buy a house. This matters to them. Take a look.
Apparently, the president gets 2 scoops. You know, everyone else around the table gets 1, and no word if there were sprinkles.
At the dessert course, he gets 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream with his chocolate cream pie instead of the single scoop for everyone else.
Really?
He's the fucking president. He's the president. Gus, who gives a fuck? I mean, seriously, this is what they're reporting. You know, you can ask for 2 scoops. It's not hard. You could ask. You could ask. Utter, what's happening? Hey, CNN. I get like 5 scoops. My wife has 1 or 2. CNN, I'm giving you an exclusive on Redneck Invasion. I have 5 scoops of ice cream. My wife has 2. I want you to know that. CNN, I'm giving you the exclusive on Redneck Invasion. He eats 5 scoops of ice cream. He's doing it bigger and badder than the president. That gluttonous, fat son of a bitch is eating 5 scoops of ice cream. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm lactose intolerant, too, but I like my Neapolitan ice cream. Yes, CNN. Get a hold of Redneck Tech Support. He'll give you all the 411 on a Redneck Invasion and getting and eating 5 scoops of ice cream. I know you're listening.
That's news at CNN. And there's this ridiculous comment from the network's top news anchor. Watch this.
He's the president of the United States. If he wants to say that, Barack Obama wants to say whatever. If George Bush says, I looked in his eyes and thought he was
on his desk, you would defend it.
Say it.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Because a guy's defending all the presidents. A guy's defending all the presidents in what they say. Oh, if he took a dump on his desk. Well, it's his fucking desk. If he wants to take a dump on it, who says he can't? Right? If I got up here, hold on. If I got up here right now and took a dump on my desk, what the fuck does it matter? Is that not my own right in my own home to take a dump on my desk? Is it gross? Disgusting? Absolutely. But is it not my right? Is it wrong for people to stand up for my right to do that? Huh? No, I won't because I don't want to clean it up. But I have shit in a garbage can more than once. We'll say that. But that's my point. Is it not okay for somebody to defend my right to do what I want with my own stuff? He just said if he took a dump on his desk, you would defend him. You're fucking right. I would defend him too.
Now, such hard-hitting news, which brings us to CNN's political commentator, yes, the one and only Van Jones. Remember, former Obama administration official, constantly smearing and slandering the president. Now, tonight it appears Van Jones may have some explaining to do. Why? James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, has now released a new undercover video. It features Van Jones. In the tape, he appears to admit that there's nothing to back up the left's Russia collusion narrative that has been going on 11 months. Now, Fox hasn't independently verified the contents, but you can see it for yourself. Take a look.
Hey, man.
The Russian thing is just a big nothing burger.
Really?
And just yesterday, James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, released yet another undercover tape, which apparently shows a CNN producer finally just admitting the truth that
the Russian thing is
has
a big nothing
massive
burger.
Anti-Trump agenda. Okay, yeah, we haven't been able to verify, but we have. Take a look. Watch.
You win because you know the game.
Lexington and Concord all over again.
She didn't play right.
Then why is CNN constantly like Russia this, Russia that?
Because it's ratings.
Because it's ratings?
Our ratings are incredible right now. My boss, a couple days yesterday, we were having a discussion about this dental shoot. He's like, I just want you to know what we're up against here. And he goes, just to give you some context, President Trump pulled out of the climate accords, and for a day and a half we covered the climate accords, and the CEO of CNN said in our internal meeting, he said, good job everybody covering the climate accords, but we're done with it, let's get back to Russia.
But honestly, you'd think the whole Russia is just like...
Could be. I mean, it's mostly right now. Like, we don't have any big giant proof. But then they say, well, there's still an investigation going on. And you're like, yeah. I don't know. If you were finding something, we'd know about it. The way these leaks happen, they leak it. It leak. If it was something really good, it would leak.
Whoopsie daisy. Looks like Jones, it looks like CNN President Jeff Zucker have real serious explaining to do. Now, CNN did put out a statement yesterday.
Okay. Now, to get back to my original point, I know this is fun, but you guys can look it up. It's Sean Hannity, by the way. I've listened to Sean Hannity for quite a while. I listened to Sean Hannity before he was on Fox. So, and before I was ever labeled as a conservative or a Republican or anything like that, because I'm not. All right. They all got fucks in their sides of campaigns. So, this is the shit that is being taught to your kids in school. This is the shit that is being taught to your kids in school. You just see numerous examples of things that CNN says, does, and I think that's how it's spelled. I mean, you can basically just type in Fox News on YouTube. And, you know, the funny part was it turned off my notifications for Fox News. Just so y'all know that. I had to turn it back on yesterday. You can just type in Hannity, Hannity. Just type in Hannity. But it's all under the Fox News channel. Just type in Fox News on YouTube. That's what I do. You'll find everybody under there. So it's been unfollowing. Like it got rid of the. I've got a notification coming up here that says bad gateway. I can't see what that says on my screen. Where's the fucking tech when you need them? Where's the fucking tech when you need them? I got something coming up on my screen. I can't see it. Cloudflare crashed. Oh, so it's not. I got to be too worried about. Oh, there. All right, perfect. But my main point is this. This is the shit that is being taught to your kids. So, yeah, this is the shit that is being taught to your kids in school. The problem is the statements are already out there. Your kids only get to see part of this. They oftentimes don't get to see the retraction. Why? Because the retraction is never published. It's just taken down. I mean, look, CNN took down Rachel's thing. We couldn't find it anywhere on there. So this is what I would encourage you to do. Okay, if your kids are being taught CNN in school, then go in and ask, why are they not being taught the Fox perspective? Why are they only being taught the CNN perspective? Being the fact that they've been called on so many times for publishing fake news. Take that video from Sean Hannity and make them watch it. They say, I don't have time. No, you need to watch this. You're teaching my kids bullshit in school. You need to watch this. You need to watch this 100%. You can't be teaching this shit to my kids. That it's okay to lie, that it's okay to make fake news, that it's okay to do things unverified and make unverified statements. You just had the higher ups at CNN saying, hey, Russia's bullshit. We're just playing it for the ratings. On video, Project Veritas. Veritas has been on fire lately. They've been throwing shit out there. And I mean, everybody's trying to get them shut down. Bed fun, time to let the dentist wrench up my mouth. Yeah, I had that happen. I lost one right here. They wanted like $3,000 to fix it. I said, for $200, you can have it. So this is my thing. You know, like the Ruger Ranch, they sit down and their kids show them everything that they're being taught in school, and then they turn around and they do the juxtaposition side at home. They say, okay, well, let us show you the other side of this. And they allow their kids to form their own opinions, which I admire greatly, by the way. Well, and the thing is, you can't do anything about what's being done in somebody's home, but what you can do is what's being done to your kids in school. You'd be surprised how many parents would actually rather not have their children taught from news, but from history. Overwhelming studies show over 73% of parents would rather have their children taught by history instead of current news feeds. Do you know that more and more Americans are going to people like Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, the Daily Wire, things like that for actual news sources? Fox News has become one of the number one reliable sources. Yes, they are very partisan to the conservative side. There's no doubt in that. But at the same point in time, they don't lie to you about it. You know, there was a conspiracy going around years ago that kind of hurt Fox a little bit about what the Obama birth certificate scandal. But now you've got people like Ilhan Omar who have definitely been proven to have violated the system. Hello, boss lady. Welcome back. Here in Sweden, it's the law. The kids must go to school, not be home study. People leaving school system in masses and leaving Sweden just so that they can treat the kids proper way of schooling. Right. And here's the thing. You want to talk about another area that is massively losing American citizens? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess where American citizens are piling out at an alarming rate? This brings me to my next issue. Vapor, you're right on it. California. at a rate of almost 1,000 people a day. U-Haul cannot even... You want to know why there's a U-Haul shortage across the United States? Because U-Haul is shipping shit to California at an all-time rate. If you're willing to drive a U-Haul to California, or you're going to California with a U-Haul, you get an extremely discounted rate. The average cost of renting a U-Haul and going to Texas is $1,600. You know what the return rate is? $100 to $300. Millennials are moving to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is becoming the millennial haven for starting businesses. At almost 1,000 people a day, people are leaving California and going to Texas. All right, little Miss Airhorn, thank you very much.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Damn, that was our first biddies for the day.
Oh yeah!
Milo the Crazy Bye. Welcome to the Invasion Nation Morning Show, Milo. Fill the cup, she says. Here's the thing. Why? Because of all the imposed taxes being put on actual working people. Businesses are closing at an all-time rate in California. Small businesses, they cannot afford to operate because of the overtaxation of it. You go into a lot of these neighborhoods that Obama went into and promised all this relief. All right, Tech, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
All these businesses, they can't afford the taxes. All right, Grandma Jerry. Gus, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Y'all feeling... Little Miss Airhorn says, fill the cup. We fill in the cup. Thanks, Gus.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Jody, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Matt, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Yeah, we got the notification that Cloudflare crashed. All right, Krippner, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
B2 Crafts, thank you very much.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
So, yeah, at an all-time rate because people can't afford to live in California anymore. And Texas is taking them in, giving them a hand up, and helping them out. All right, Grandma Jerry, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
So, really what it is this is why I host in the USA and not on Cloudflare. I don't know where I'm at. Tech handles all my shit. So. But here's the thing. All right, Fox. Thank you very much. There's our OG. Fox, one of these days I'm coming out and I'm going catfishing with you. I'm doing that. Apparently Fuzzy and... All right, Krippner, thank you.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Fuzzy's supposed to be up in this area. Grandma Jerry.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, I talked to Wolfram the other night, and he's going to let me know. They're going to try and get up this area. Travel buddy and Marco will be here in 8 hours. Lolly is freaking out because she wants to do a big deep cleaning on the house. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to work right after this. So, Yeah. Sploosh. Oh, the cup. Yeah. You put a really big one in there, it'll bottom the entire cup out. I will be taking a lunch today to do a quick pickup. Yeah, actually, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to put the camera on a pivot thing. Grandma Jerry, thank you very much.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
I love that cup, by the way. That cup is the epitome of awesome. Jody coming in, thank you very much.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Will be a dead state in 5 to 6 years. Little Miss Airhorn coming in with another 5.
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
Yeah, she's getting full. Now Detroit is actually going to come back up. It's Grandma Jerry coming in with 10 biddies.
Making them dirt road
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. Gus coming in with another 10 biddies.
Making them dirt road dollars.
Uh-oh.
Way out yonder, having them
holler. Chris coming in with 100.
Making them dirt road boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot.
Redneck Tech coming in with 1,000 biddies. Cleaning out the cup.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler.
And Crippner coming in with another 200 biddies.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them holler.
So if you notice, all the really heavy biddies sit way on the bottom, and basically what it takes, like you see in the Redneck Tech, you dumped 1,000 biddy boom shot in there, and what that will do is that will clean everything out all the way to the bottom. Yeah. I do have to make one stop on my route. I promised to take Travel Buddy and Marco fishing. So one thing I definitely got to do is go get the fuel lines today for the boat. I didn't expect him to be here this soon. The last I heard, he was going to be in Louisiana for a little while. So I got to go. Wife, I'm going to go stop at the marine dealers after I get done with the morning show here. I'm going to probably have to hit every feather mucking place I can think of. So, yeah. So, anyways, what do they give you? I don't get it. Oh, you get your little donation emoji things. Your little... I don't think I even got any of those. I don't think I get that privilege. Nope. Yes. Got him! I love that one. That was my favorite. I do that joke to people all the time. That, the one, the Tourette's guy. I love the Tourette's guy. That one's fucking hilarious. So, anyways, it is 9:03. I got to get off of here. I got to go get the fuel lines off the boat. Yeah. So, and I got to get on the road here. Anyways, guys, just so you know, keep watching. Everybody keeps looking at California, and here's the thing: like when they look at California for their emission standards, they look at California for their green standards. Jerry, that all depends. Like last night, I didn't get home until 9:30, so that all depends on how long my route takes. If I can get home before 8 o'clock, absolutely. I did fix the fuel lines. The problem is marine lines are a special inner diameter, and I found out if they don't fit over the fittings tight, they don't work. Just so you guys know, I will have Thursday and Friday off, so we will have a longer morning show tomorrow.
Fuck!
That is the story of my life right there. Especially me trying to go the cheap way out. I tried taking my wife's approach to finding the cheap way out on these fuel lines. So, yeah. If you're traveling over this weekend, I please use extreme caution. Two things I'm going to tell you. And just to get this in your mindset, I'm going to take a minute to do this before I sign off here. One, don't pull things that are too heavy for your truck. If your truck can't pull these things at the speed limit, don't be pulling them down main stretches of road. Find back roads. Please do not tie up main stretches of road. You got drivers out there who have to make a living on these roads. Okay? And you seriously cause traffic accidents by impeding traffic. It is a proven fact that when traffic goes slower, more accidents are caused than when traffic is traveling at a higher rate of speed. Okay? 2, when you're out traveling this weekend, if you see something that you want to look at, pull down to the next safest spot, turn around, and go back and then look at that stuff. Yesterday, I seen 2 cars end up in the ditch because people were slowing down to look at this turkey in the field, this big tom turkey, and it was huge. Okay, but if you're not going to slow down or stop, turn around and go look at it, don't slow down a whole line of traffic. Please remember there's people out on those roads that have to make a living. Okay, and what I mean by having to make a living is their estimated time is based on traffic going at normal travel speeds, the speed limit. Don't be the person that causes them not to be able to get their job done on time. All right. Also, if you see any flashing lights on the side of the road, I don't care if it's 4-way flashers. I don't care if it's emergency vehicles, especially tow trucks and police officers. Slow your ass down and move over. Slow your ass down and move over. I've been hit on the side of the road operating tow trucks. I was hit 3 times in 1 year because people didn't follow the law. It's the law. Slow down and move over. Somebody's life depends on it. Those guys are trying to get home to their families. They're making a living for their family. Actually, law says, Jody, this, that you were supposed to slow down or come to a complete stop, and you're supposed to give them 1 lane of clearance. If there's oncoming traffic, you are supposed to stop until it is clear to go around them. That is law. And I'm pretty sure that law is going to be coming up on the agenda. They're going to make the fines and the penalties a lot stiffer for that. And law enforcement's I would like to see them take that law and make that about a $2,500 ticket for somebody. So, yes. A towman has a family that he has to get home to. And you can't always see him because he's underneath the vehicle hooking it up. All right, little Miss Airhorn, coming in with the 71 biddies. Hot damn. Been watching some ads, have you?
Making them dirt road dollars, way out yonder, having them holler.
She's making it rain. And that's the thing. Somebody's life depends on it. One tow truck driver is killed every 6 days in this country because somebody doesn't follow the laws. So please remember, you see any type of flashing lights, slow down, move over. Somebody's life depends on it. Blocker truck. All right, Loomis air horn.
Making them dirt road dollars. Way out yonder, having them hollers.
So, I moved to the left lane, someone walking on the right, and that's the thing. Somebody's life depends on it, y'all. Be careful this weekend, okay? Be careful this weekend, and remember that people need to get home. People are out there working. People are making money in the roads. You want to do sightseeing, that's fine. Pull over and look at the sights. Don't stop traffic in the middle, especially in a busy road. Also, do not be pulling trailers. If you don't know how to load or pull a trailer, I promise you pull into a truck yard. You pull into any truck yard or truck stop. There's going to be a driver in there that will help you load your trailer. If your trailer's not pulling correctly or not trailing correctly, if it's fishtailing, whatever, you ask a truck driver will help you out. You know why? Because you affect their ability to get their job done. And they're more concerned about safety than you are because they make a living at doing this. Just because your truck can pull the trailer doesn't mean it's pulling it safely. If you're damn near dragging the bumper or the trailer hitch on the ground and you're trying to tow something down a main road, you're causing a problem. You're going to cause an accident. So please remember, especially on holiday weekends, because on 4th of July weekends when people are traveling to fireworks, campers, cabins, things like that, the potential for accidents is a lot higher. I'm not saying stay at home. I'm not saying just lock yourself in your house. All I'm saying is this, okay? Is learn to do this stuff right. You can watch YouTube videos to learn how to load a trailer. Some of you guys remember last year during deer hunting opener, I went livid because some guy had his trailer loaded tail heavy. I'm assuming he had a four-wheeler or something in the back that was heavier than the stuff he had in the front of the trailer. And was causing all sorts of hangups on Interstate 94, was causing backup for over 70 miles. So, with that being said, I'm going to get up off here. You all be safe. We will see you hopefully tonight, if not tomorrow morning. And maybe by tonight when I get on here, we will have a travel buddy around here. So, that being said, y'all keep cold. Keep the bottoms up. Redneck is going to holler at you later.